What's up, everybody? It's your boy Melly for another review, and today I'll be talking my thoughts on another Star Wars series, the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. First began in May of 2022 and finished until from June of last year. And this actually takes place 10 years after the events of Star Wars Revenge of the Sith, which brings during the exile of Obi-Wan. Including this is played by Ewan McGregor, and finally faces a rematch between his former apprentice Anakin Skywalker, aka Darth Vader, played by Hayden Christensen. And before we begin, did you subscribe? Did you hit the bell? If so, are you prepared to see an epic lightsaber duel once again? If so, let's begin, shall we? So yeah, Obi-Wan Kenobi is an American television series created for the streaming service Disney Plus. It is part of the Star Wars franchise, starring Ewan McGregor as the title character, reprising his role from Star Wars prequel trilogy, set 10 years after the events of Star Wars Episode 3: Revenge of the Sith. The prequel trilogy, series follows Obi-Wan Kenobi on his sets out to rescue a kidnapped Princess Leia from the Galactic Empire, leading to a confrontation to his former apprentice, Darth Vader, played by Hayden Christensen, reprising the role from the prequel trilogy. He made his first appearance in Episode 2 and then Episode 3. The project originated as a spin-off film written by Hossein Amini and directed by Stephen Daldry, but it was reworked as a limited series following the commercial failure of Solo, a Star Wars story. Back in 2018, McGregor was confirmed to be starring in August of 2019, with Deborah Chow was hired to direct a month later. Production was scheduled to begin in 2020, but the series was put on hold in 2020. Because of Lucasfilm was unsatisfied with the script, Joby Harold was hired to rewrite the series, served as the showrunner. Executive producer Chow, McGregor, Kathleen Kennedy, and Michelle Rijawa. Additional casting took place on March 2021 with co-stars such as Joel Edgerton, Bonnie Piesse, Jimmy Smits, James Earl Jones reprising his role as the voice of Vader and Anakin, and Christian reprising their role in the prequel trilogy as well. Filming began by May of 2021 in LA using stagecraft video wall technology wall wrap. By September, Natalie Holt composed the score, while Star Wars film composer John Williams wrote the Obi-Wan theme, which was adapted by William Ross. The first 2 episodes of Obi-Wan Kenobi premiered on May 27th, 2022. The sequences 4 episodes were released weekly until June of 22nd of that year. The series received general positive reviews, with critics praising McGregor's performance, action sequence, music by John Williams, character-driven narrative, and emotional weight, although the writing received some criticism. What's the premise? Well, it takes 10 years after the events of Revenge of the Sith, in which all the Jedi were killed by Order 66, and Obi-Wan's apprentice, Anakin Skywalker, became the Sith Lord Darth Vader. Obi-Wan is at hiding on the planet Tatooine, watching over Anakin's son Luke, where he is called upon a mission to rescue Leia, who was kidnapped by the Inquisitors, in a plot to draw him out, which leads to a confrontation between him and his former apprentice, Vader. Which we got a couple episodes. I think we have started with the first one, where we have this opening sequence where we saw the events from the prequel trilogy, from Episode 1 to Episode 3, and soon we cut to a tie, it looks like in the Jedi Temple. We see a bunch of younglings, like practicing type of, yoga, until a final first clone trooper shoots down the Jedi, teaching them. Soon, hell breaks loose, and we see a young Padawans try to escape, and we hear a voiceover of Palpatine saying, "Execute Order 66," over and over again. So we cut 10 years later in Tatooine, where Obi-Wan's hiding, and soon the Inquisitors arrived, looking for a Jedi named... I forgot the name of the Jedi's name. His name is... Nari. We see the Grand Inquisitor along with Reva, known as the third sister and the fifth brother as well. Let's just say, when Obi-Wan finds a toy we got from a bunch of Jawas, he leaves it for Luke, but unfortunately Owen returns it back since he told him to stay away from him because he despised the Jedi, mostly because what happened to his stepbrother. And here's been a lot of plot because it's not just that, it's the confrontation between the Guardian Owen versus his hate for the Jedi because his own brother, well, stepbrother was killed unaware that his stepbrother is a Sith Lord named Vader. And also, we cut to a scene where Leia had been kidnapped by bounty hunters to use as a plot to lure Obi-Wan. Which, yeah, kidnapping a little girl is not cool. And you got a lot of scenes being within different planets. I think in part 2 is more interesting. We see, once again, Timur Morrison pretending to be a veteran. A homeless clone trooper. By the look of his armor, he's a 501st clone trooper. Asking for money for a meal. Which, yeah, this is how the Empire treats their clone troopers. After what they did during the Clone Wars. Thrown away. And of course, we get to see Reva, aka the third sister, revealing that Anakin's still alive to Obi-Wan while he tries to escape, which of course puts him in shock. When he says his name Anakin, Vader wakes up in the back of the tank, knowing that his master is still alive. You gotta love the detail of this. We got Tatooine, which of course, we have the other world where Leia was holed up, and it's when she was kidnapped on the planet Dayu. And I think the only thing people hated was the design of the Grand Inquisitor. One, because the Grand Inquisitor was a member of his races from Utapau, and we see what they look like, the Utapawians. And compared to the Grand Inquisitor, he doesn't look like them. And why they're doing his makeup, I do not know. Why? Don't ask. Soon we finally get a scene where we meet new characters like Tala, who is a former Imperial, helping people who are hunted down or wanted by the Empire. And it turns out there was an Easter egg of Quaylen Voss still alive, helping younglings escape from time to time. So we finally get the what we were waiting for, the confrontation between Vader and Obi-Wan on the planet. As Obi-Wan tries to lure Vader to distract him, Vader's fast because when Obi-Wan arrived there, Vader just ignites his lightsaber right there in the dark. And he's right there, standing right there. Obi-Wan's about to, but he chickens out. As he tries to run, Vader appears again, when Obi-Wan says, "What have you become?" And Vader says, "I am what you made me, Obi-Wan." Soon there'll be a confrontation, which of course we see Obi-Wan is not in his good shape because Vader managed to take him down quick. Let's just say he puts him in a pit of fire to show how he suffered from the burns of Mustafar. Unfortunately, Tala managed to save him. But as for Leia, she got kidnapped by Reva and taken to prison by Fortress Inquisitorius, which dubbed by the other members of the Path to be unbreakable because it's a very hard place to break into. A Fortress Inquisitorius. The Master arrived there to save Leia, which of course they split up. Obi-Wan taking the underwater route, while Tala trying to find upload a map to help Obi-Wan locate her. When you arrive at the vault where the Inquisitors are, it turns out the vault is actually a massive tomb full of carbonized dead Jedi they captured, and the youngest they have is the youngling still wearing his Jedi robe, Jedi, youngling attire, including a blast helmet on his head right there. It's like, when did he got captured? That's a good question. 10 years? I don't know where he got it from. Soon, he managed to break out, leave prison Inquisitorians, which of course Vader almost kills Reva for her failure, which we see Vader's anger. Literally, he just full blown about to kill her. Well, we see the fifth brother smirking on her failure. And there's been a lot of details. What's the final episode? I think it was part 7, I think? Yeah, no. Oh, it's actually called part 6, sorry. Wait, are they all directed by Deborah Chow? Let me see. Yeah, they're all directed by Deborah Chow, never mind. Which, of course, we have the final confrontation between Vader and Obi-Wan. Fun fact, because how did Reva knew? Because she was the youngling at the Jedi Temple during Order 6, when she and her friends managed to try to cross the walkway. That's where she encountered Anakin, aka now Vader, with his Legion of Fightful First marching towards him and getting massacred. Excepting her, who managed to pretend to be dead to survive. And she tried to kill Vader, and she failed and left for dead after Vader stabbed her. And it's revealed that the Grand Inquisitor is still alive, and took his place once again, leaving Reva for dead. And this one scene I like was the final confrontation between Vader and Obi-Wan, was where Obi-Wan managed to take some gifts and put some damage on Vader, including landing a blow on his helmet. More specifically on his left side, where we see Vader with half his face showing. We see Anakin's face with his burned face, where Obi-Wan sees him, not just his eyes, but his mouth, his top of his head, where he got the scar. If you remember from episode 6, where Luke removed his helmet, there's like a scar on his top of his head, where that came from. Turns out it was actually a scar that he got from a blow from Obi-Wan during his battle right here. And also very revealing that Anakin is dead. He's now Vader fully, which of course had Vader pissed off. He wants Obi-Wan to come back. Reva, on the other hand, tried to kidnap and murder Luke because she found a transmission from Bail Organa to revealing about Luke's location. As she's about to kill Luke, she remembers what happened to her on the Jedi Temple, and she refuses to kill Luke and takes him back to the large family intact. You gotta see how she went through, because Reva went through a lot. She witnessed her friends being massacred by Anakin, aka Vader, during Order 66, which it was not a pretty look. I tell you what. But the series got a lot of popularity, good, including his first effects, his action, storytelling. I'd recommend this. This is a good series to watch, and if you're new to the channel, let me know on the comments down below, and if you want to hear more, if you want to learn more, look it up yourself. And yeah, I'll be leaving now, but before I go, remember to subscribe, hit the bell, like this video. Until then, have a great day, everybody. Stay cool, stay fresh. Summer is already here. It's gonna be a hot day, I tell you what. So see ya.